Assalamu alaikum everyone there. Could you please listen to me clearly? Please respond in comment. Thank you so much. We're going to start at 7 p.m. sharp. Now I'm just checking whether everything is going well, and let's get some more live viewers and get shared on different pages on Facebook. Then we'll start in a few minutes. Those who are with us, please share the live video in your groups or in your wall, so maybe we can get some more live viewers. I will start at 7 p.m. sharp. I hope everyone can see me clearly and as well as can listen to me clearly. If not, then please let me know in comment. We're going to start at 7 p.m. sharp. So currently I'm just sharing the videos in groups and as well as to some other friends, so we can get some more live viewers while doing our live session. It would be really helpful if you all shared the videos on your Facebook wall and as well as in your groups, so there could be some more students who can benefit from the information I'm going to share tonight. I'll be starting in a while. Currently we are sharing the live session in some Facebook groups and as well as on some pages, so please stay tuned with us. We'll be starting soon. Please let me know if the voice is not clear or if the video is not clear. So I'll be starting in a minute. For now I'm just sharing the videos, and also request you all to share on your Facebook so I can get some more live viewers. That could be helpful for many of you out there who are watching just now. Everyone who is with us now, please share the live video session on your wall and as well as in your Facebook group, so we can get some more live viewers while doing our live session. I would really appreciate that. Alright, it's 7 p.m. now. Let's start. Uh, Hello, everyone. I'm from Nanjing, China, Ali Qadir. Uh, I'm from Quetta, Pakistan. Have been living and studying in Nanjing for the last 5 years. In 2018, June, I have graduated from my undergraduate degree in major of international business from the Nanjing University of Aeronautics and Astronautics. And after doing my undergraduate, I got a scholarship from Nanjing government, from Chinese government scholarship council to do my MPhil, which is like about 2 hours and 6 months, about 3 years. And currently I'm doing my master's in applied economics, which is as well as my major is international trade. Today I would be talking in two languages, English and Urdu, so I hope it would be understandable for all of you. Currently I'm talking on behalf of Hazara Alumni China, a student association of international students of Hazaras living in China for many years, and as well as the scholarships corner friends. I'm really thankful to them that they're using the social media and sharing the scholarship opportunities and some other event or international platforms opportunities for our Pakistani students. I really appreciate that. I'm not sure, maybe many of you know that in China we cannot use Facebook, Instagram, and some other applications like directly. We use like them through some sort of VPN. In case our tonight's live video session stops somewhere, it doesn't mean that we are stopped completely. I will be starting again in few minutes by after changing the logging off the VPN and changing the server, then I will be appearing again. So please stay with us. And I request you all to keep sharing the live video sessions as much as possible so we can get some more live viewers. And our tonight's session is going to be about 2 hours or maybe 1 hour and 30 minutes. In the first hour, I'll be giving very detailed information about the higher education scholarship opportunities in China. And after I finish, then you can ask some questions. So we will have two parts of our session. In the beginning, I will be sharing some detailed information about the higher education scholarship opportunities. And in the second part, you can ask me some questions. And the contents I have for you tonight, the list of contents I have, the first one is reasons to study in China. Why do I want you to come to study in China? I have listed some main reasons that why are you supposed to come here and study in China, and as well as about higher education in China. Many of you out there, they don't have much information about how is the higher education in China. It could be similar somehow, but not as same as our countries. And the types of scholarship China is giving to international students, and as well as the benefits, what are the benefits of those scholarships, and as well as the requirements and eligibility, who are eligible to apply for those scholarship, and the requirements they have. And then the application procedure, how the procedure goes, how would you apply, whether it's online, offline, or by hand or by person. And then about the application deadlines, when are you supposed to apply, when to apply, and how to apply. And then some information sources, how can you get the information about the Chinese scholarship and higher education. I will be sharing some in sources as well. And then as well as some tips while applying for scholarship. I'll be giving some tips to you. And then what scholarships corner or the friends in China, what can we do for you while the application procedure of your scholarship. So these are a list of contents. Let's go to the first content, reasons to study in China. Well, we have scholarship opportunities from all over the world, from Western countries, let's say uh, some like UK, Canada, US, Australia, and maybe you have all noticed that the requirement they have, one of the big problem is the visa problem, that a lot of like our students, they get accepted by the universities but they cannot get the visa, and as well as the English, about the language and some other sorts of problems currently our students are having. But like talking about scholarships in China, the requirements and the requirements are not as difficult as to like Western countries. Like we have very easy requirement in here, and many scholarship opportunities. I'm receiving some questions. Please hold on. Let me finish first. Then I will be coming to your questions and I will be answering all of them. And then the second reason is quality of education and international recognition. Many of our students out there, they are thinking that most of our Chinese universities, they are not recognized by like PEC and some let's say higher education commission. That's not true. The Chinese universities are recognized on international level. 289 universities of China, they are giving the CSC scholarship, which is given by the Ministry of Education of China, which is the biggest scholarship in here. And talking about the international reputation or recognition of Chinese universities, there are 33 best universities of China among the top universities of the world, and as well as 100 best universities in Asia. So, and the third reason I would like you to come and study in China is the world's top 20 science cities. Like there are 4 cities of China which comes like among the top 20 science cities. By science cities, I mean that the cities whose scientific institution or education institution have had the biggest contribution in scientific research, innovation, and other development. Those 4 cities are Beijing, Shanghai, Wuhan, and Nanjing, the city I am in currently. And the fourth reason is that you can learn Chinese language. Chinese language is the world's most spoken language, and like English is going to be useful all over the world in the coming years. And then as well as like while studying here, you will get to know about the oldest civilization, history, and culture of China. China has one of the oldest like civilization, history, and culture here. And then the fifth reason is like you can witness the development of China in the first row. Like while you come here, many of you are there through the social media. You can maybe you know about like how China is developing that fast, how their economy is like developing that fast. Once you come here, you will get experience and you will get to know that how these people are doing all these things. And then you can enhance your global experience and develop your global mindset. After USA and UK, China is the country having the most populated international students of the world. So you can enhance your global experience and you can develop your global mindset. There are students from all over the world. Being the direct beneficiary of Belt and Road, like being a Pakistani student, you guys can be the direct beneficiary of One Belt, One Road. Talking about One Belt, One Road, which is going to benefit the European countries, some of the African countries, and as well as the Asian countries. One Belt, One Road, many of the projects have not been started in many of the countries yet, but in Pakistan, in the shape of CPIC, you can see which has already been started. So you as a Pakistani student can be the direct beneficiary of Belt and Road. And after studying in China, you can get the employment advantage. After you finish your studies, many Chinese companies working inside China or multinational companies of China working in Pakistan and in other countries of the world offer you good jobs. Like those who are studying in China, because the Chinese companies, they prefer someone who know the language and who know the Chinese culture. Culture is something very important for them. So if you are graduating from any Chinese university, it means you know their culture, you know their language. So they will prefer you. They will prefer to give you jobs and employ you in their companies. And as well as about The ninth reason is international scope. Being like a student in Pakistan, you may not have the opportunities to perform on international scope, but once you come here in China, in Chinese universities, that time you will be able to avail all those international scope. Like for example, if I give the example of myself, that I attended a conference in UN in 2017. So if I was in Pakistan, I would not be having that opportunity. But there are many international like scholarship that I'm having here in China. So these are all the 9 main reasons I have pointed out for you that why would you come to China to study. And about the higher education in China, how the higher education in China is. The first one, like about undergraduate, or we call it bachelor's degree, which is 4-year degree. And if you're like learning 1 year Chinese language, like it is like 4-year bachelor degree, 1 year language. In the beginning, it is 5 years. And then we have postgraduate. In postgraduate, we have master's and PhD. Normally, the master's degree in here is 2 to 3 years. We don't have 1 year master's degree in China. It is normally two year and a half or 3 years. And then we have PhD degree, which is like 3 to 4 years. And then we have postdoc, general scholar, senior scholar. And the majors taught in here in the universities of China, they are like English taught majors as well, and as well as the Chinese taught majors as well. Now I'll be talking about the types of scholarship. I better go with Urdu here. उम्मीद है कि सबको समझ आ जाए यहाँ पे. मैं उर्दू और इंग्लिश दोनों लैंग्वेजेस में बात करूँगी क्योंकि टारगेट ऑडियंस हमारा आज तब पाकिस्तानी स्टूडेंट्स हैं. उम्मीद है आप समझ सकेंगे. तो talking about types of scholarship, Chinese government scholarship, we have local government scholarship, we have Confucius Institute scholarship, we have school scholarship, and as well as we have enterprise scholarship. Then each type of scholarship, they have different categories. For example, for Chinese government scholarship, category 1 is bilateral program. Category 2 is Chinese university program. Category 3 is Great Wall program. And category 4 is WMO program. So for bilateral program, the bachelor students and master and PhD students, they can apply through the Higher Education Commission or through the Chinese Embassy in Islamabad. And the second one, I would like suggest you guys to apply through the universities directly. Later, I'll be like asking you the procedures, the application procedure, and everything that you can apply through the Chinese universities directly. And then we have Great Wall program, which is like mainly for general and senior scholars. And then we have like some WMO program as well, by the help of Ministry of Education of China and as well as World Meteorological Organization. We have some friends from Gwadar who are like on this scholarship and studying in different universities in here. Their major is like meteorology, hydrology, and water resource monitoring and management. So this is the categories of Chinese government scholarship. For local government scholarship, every city, every province in here, the government, they have like different scholarship for the international students. And Confucius Institute scholarship, unfortunately in Pakistan, like we don't have Confucius Institute now, but maybe in future we're going to have the which is like mainly about the Chinese culture and language. And then the category 4 is school scholarship. Different universities in here, they provide different scholarship for the international student, full scholarship, partial scholarship. And then there are some enterprises, some companies, they also provide scholarship for the international students. Then like later after completing your studies, you can like start working in those companies. The benefits of this scholarship, they can cover the whole duration, like the complete duration of your studies. Let's say for bachelor's it is 4 to 5 years. For masters, like it is 3 to 4 years, and as well as for PhD, it is 4 to 5 years. The scholarship covers your tuition fees, your dormitory, and monthly stipend for the complete duration of your studies. But some type of scholarship, they are partially scholarship. They mainly cover your tuition fees and dormitory, or like a little amount of stipend. But the fully scholarship can cover like completely your tuition fees, your dormitory, monthly stipend, your health insurance, and everything. Now, a lot of our friends are asking about the requirement and eligibility. Now I'll be talking about what are the main requirements for Chinese scholarship. The first one is age. Like for bachelor's, maximum you're supposed to be 25. For master's degree, you're supposed to be 35 maximum. And for PhD, 40 maximum. For general scholar, you're supposed to be 45 maximum. And then for the senior scholar, you're supposed to be 50 or below that. And the other requirement for that is like master's degree, or you're supposed to be the associate professor. The second main requirement is passport. I know like many of our students, like they are currently studying in local universities, they don't have passport. During your application, passport is one of the main requirement. You are supposed to submit a picture of information of the passport. So if you want to apply for a scholarship and you don't have passport, I'm sorry, you cannot apply. You better make a passport while applying for the scholarship, for some international scholarship, even China or some other countries. And then notarized highest diploma. Like if your diploma, if your degree, let's say if you're applying for bachelor's and you're having the high school degree, if it is not in English or Chinese, so you should do the translation, notarized translation. But if it's in English and Chinese, then that is totally fine. Like there are some students who are currently in the last year of their bachelor's degree and they want to apply for master's degree. That is like quite possible. You can ask your school to give you pre-graduation certificate. They give you a kind of document that is mentioned that student A is doing his bachelor's in our school and he will be finishing in 1 semester or 2 semester, and then they put the stamp. That can also be used as your highest diploma. And then you have academic transcript, which is very much you're supposed to have your academic transcript. And then a study plan or research proposal. For bachelor's, minimum 200 words. For master's, minimum 500 words. And for PhD, minimum 800 words. And then you're supposed to have 2 recommendation letters from your professor or associate professors. 200 words for like undergraduate and 800 words for master's or PhD. And the students who are like doing fine arts, they're supposed to submit their work or research work. Normally they have some sort of painting or music. They are supposed to have them in CD. While submitting them, they're supposed to have them like the copies of their painting or their recording or like arts work. They are supposed to have it in 2 copies in a CD while applying for a scholarship and submitting to the school. And then foreign physical examination form, which is also called like health examination form, which is required by the university and as well as by the scholarship council. And then language proficiency later. Nowadays, Chinese universities, they require the English language proficiency certificate. IELTS, TOEFL, both of them are fine. For IELTS, like the minimum is 6.5 they require. About TOEFL, I have no idea, but IELTS they require 6.5. Some of you might have done your undergraduate or master's degree in English, so your school can give you the language proficiency certificate mentioning that student A has done his bachelor's or master's an English taught major in which all the courses and the research work all have been done in English. So that is also called English language proficiency certificate. That can also help you in applying for scholarship. And about pre-admission later and acceptance later. Some of the universities require you before applying directly to the scholarship council, you are supposed to get admission. They have online portals, online website I will be sharing later with you, that they ask you to get the admission first, then you can apply for scholarship. And as well as for masters and PhD students, they are supposed to have acceptance later through the university website. They will find the associate professor or professor according to their major, and they are interested in their work, so they can just send them their CV to get the acceptance later of the professor that's mentioning that student A would be applying for a scholarship, and once he got the scholarship, he will work under my supervision in the research and the research topic I'm working on. So that acceptance later I can tell you how can you get the acceptance later. So these are all the main requirement and eligibility. Many of you might be thinking about the percentage for for high school. Normally 60%, the minimum is supposed to be 60%. If it's above 60%, then you can apply. And for masters or for PhD, for masters, your GPA is supposed to be above 3. In China we have 5 GPA system, then you can do the equivalent how much, because in Pakistan I know in many of the universities they are having the GPA system is 4, but in China we are having 5. So according to that GPA 5, in here the requirement while applying for a scholarship is 3, and even some students having below 3, they can still apply if they got the chance. And then for PhD, you better have some publications, which matters the most. And now application, there was the application requirement or eligibility. Now I'm talking about the application procedure, how things go. For undergraduate, if you're applying for bachelor studies or for undergraduate, I can suggest you that you apply through the universities directly. How would you find the universities? I will be providing you the sources. You can go on the university website, you can check the information, which majors they are offering, and in which whether it's Chinese taught or English taught. So you should have several options. When you're applying for scholarship, you should have several options. That's university A, B, C, D. Which university, you better apply in all of them, through which you can get by the chance by one university, and you can continue your studies. And then I suggest to the Chinese universities in here nowadays, they are having the websites both in English and in Chinese as well. So you should find the Chinese websites of all those universities, and inside the university website there are different departments, colleges or schools, and then in there it's mentioned about the scholarships they are providing for international students for which major. So you better have a look on their website, because on their website they give the complete information, they mention everything, their requirement, procedure and everything. Some universities require to submit the hard copy document. Some of the universities only have online portal through which you can just submit your online application there and they will accept. But some universities, they require the to be submitted, the hard copies of your documents are supposed to be submitted. So it depends on the universities, the one you are applying. And then we have application procedure for postgraduate, for masters and PhD. The first procedure is that through the internet or through the university website, you will find out your desired major. For example, if your desired major is applied economics, you will find out the universities they are providing this degree or this major in English taught. Then you should not have only one option, keep several options. Then know more about the universities, whether the major I'm going to study, are they providing scholarship as well or not, and then some departments and other requirement, because every university they don't have like same requirement. The requirements could be different. And then for masters and PhD, you are must to have supervisor before applying for scholarships. You are supposed to find the supervisor, professors or associate professor through the university websites. You can get the university websites on internet easily, and all the university they have a special pod on their website about the complete information of supervisors, professors. You can contact them through email by sending your CV. And please, I will be taking questions later. Could you please wait for a while? Once I finish, I'll be taking questions. Thank you. All right. Yeah, like you can send your CV to those like professors or associate professor, and they'll be replying you by email. And then if they agree to supervise you, they will give you the acceptance letter, which is one of the main requirement for PhD student. And in some universities that is also required for master students. Okay, apply online according to the requirement of university. Some universities they require you to apply in the university website first, then you can apply in the scholarship website, because there are two applications you are supposed to fill. One is the scholarship council website, and the other one is on the university website. Some of the university they just require the hard copy of the document. Some of them ask you to apply online directly. And the application fee is 400 RMB to 800 RMB. Some like high ranking universities they have their application fee as like about 800 RMB, and those others they have 400 RMB application fee. While you apply for a scholarship or for admission, you are supposed to pay your application fee. Alright, these are all the application procedure. If it's confusing for you, just ask me in question answer session. I will be explaining again. Alright, the deadlines for CSC scholarship, or like normally for Chinese scholarship, is from January to early April. It starts in January, and in some universities it's until March 31st. In some universities it's mid-April or early April. So every university have like their own requirement, their own deadline. But normally it is from January to March. These 3 months are the application procedure for scholarship or admission. And then about the sources, I will be sending you the website in comment later, or you can, those who want to apply, they can contact through message of the scholarship corner page. We'll be giving you the sources. There are some website, university website, the China Scholarship Council website, that you can get all the detailed information there as well about the procedure, requirement and everything. And then as well as you can contact through the scholarships corner page if you have like some more question or confusion while doing the application procedure of your scholarship. Now some tips on my behalf, like how can you make your scholarship application procedure easy or like very clear. The first one is be well aware about the requirements and procedures. I told you that you will find the websites of universities, and you will have a thorough look about like on the website to know more about which kind of scholarship they are providing, what are their deadlines, what are their requirements, what are their complete know-how. Like try to have a complete know-how about the universities or the scholarships you are applying for. And then once again, get your passport now if you are applying for a scholarship. That is one of the requirements. and then get your English proficiency certificate. For example, if you have enough time, you want to apply next year, so I suggest you to do your IELTS or TOEFL. That is like really helpful for your scholarship application. So if you have enough time, if you're planning to apply next year, or if you still have like about a year or two, then I suggest you to have the like English proficiency certificate, IELTS or TOEFL, etc. And then get recommendation letters while you're like in university, while you're going to graduate. So try to get some recommendation letters from your teachers or from your professors. That is the requirement for application procedure. So try to get them like as early as possible. And then write down your study plan and research proposal. Many of you out there might still have time, so this is the time to start writing your study plan and research proposal. That is the document that you mention why are you applying for this scholarship, and why this major, what are you going to do in this major. And then the second last tip is learn using WeChat, because in China we don't use Facebook and WhatsApp, Instagram, those things. For communication we normally use WeChat or QQ. So try to learn using WeChat. And then many of the students like have requested me to mention this, that avoid getting help from the consultant or agents. Many of our students in here, they pay about like hundreds of thousand rupees to get some scholarship or to get self-financed admission here in China. So like there have been many cases that those consultants, those agents, they have done fraud with people. So I suggest you all that avoid getting help from the consultants who are not trustworthy. Even the trustworthy one, like they demand so much, which is not worth it at all. Like we have some friends here, when we ask them that even some of them have paid 8 to 10 lakh rupees only to get admission here. So, and some of our students, they try to get help from the agents. Like many frauds are going on like recently. You can apply directly. The information on the university websites are quite clear, like A to Z information is mentioned there on university website, on the scholarship website. So you don't have to get help from the consultant or agents. The visa procedure, the information, everything is available on website. You can do yourself. So like as suggested by those students who have been like cheated by the consultants or by agents, I suggest you not to get help from them, not to pay them. You can do everything by yourself. And then what as your friend, what in here like we can do for you? The first one is like we can share information with you. If there is any scholarship, some specific information we are having, we can share with you. And then we can communicate with the universities for you, because like being out of China, sometimes it is really hard to communicate with the university officials. So we will be helping you to communicate with the university while your application procedure. Get acceptance later. Sometimes the professors, they don't reply the emails because they are getting like hundreds of emails. Each professor have like receiving hundreds of emails and they don't reply all of them. So if you have found your desired major, desired university, we can help you to get like the acceptance letter from those professors or associate professors. As I told you in the beginning, that some of the universities like required hard copy documents. They don't have any online portal. They ask you to submit the hard copy. So you can email your documents. We will be submitting your documents. But there is one thing, like I'm living in Nanjing. If the university is in Beijing, it needs some like the courier fees and all those things. Those things you are supposed to pay, because as a student I cannot pay for that. And then as well as we can help you to pay your application fees, as many universities in here nowadays they have application fees. Maybe you cannot pay them directly from Pakistan, but we can pay for you here. But first of all we have to receive from you, then we can pay your application fees. So these were all the information I had for you tonight. Now we come towards the question and answer session. I'm going through the questions one by one. Okay, there is a friend of us, Khal Muhammad. He's asking how to apply and how to submit the documents. Okay, let me give you the website now. Like, you can go on the website directly and there is the complete information, or you can completely watch this video to know about the procedures and requirement. Okay, here is the website. I'll be putting in comment. So I'll be coming towards your questions one by one. Please hold on a while. Okay, here you go. Okay, all right, the link I have just put in the comment is the link of the China Scholarship Council, the CSC scholarship, which has the complete information about the Chinese scholarship, about the universities and everything. So you can go on this website to know, like, this is a very good source. All the informations are mentioned there. We have same questions from many of our fellows there. They're asking the procedure. I suggest you to watch my video again from the beginning till the end. Okay, a friend of us asking about, please give more information about undergraduate degree. Well, for undergraduate, I suggest you that you can apply through the Higher Education Commission or through the Chinese Embassy, which is in Islamabad. The application procedure is mentioned in the website I have just shared. And as well as for undergraduate, we don't have many scholarships in here through CSC. It's not that easy to get CSC scholarship for undergraduate degree. Me, like I myself have done my undergraduate degree on like partial scholarship, not fully scholarship. So I suggest you that you search on the different universities website. Like there are some provincial government scholarships as well, that they are like mainly for undergraduate studies. So the link I have sent, you can open that and then you can find information there. Okay, one of our friends is asking, for master's degree they teach Chinese language for 1 year or not. Well, it depends. If the major you have chosen is in Chinese and they are just providing that in Chinese, then you are supposed to learn Chinese 1 year, and this is also part of the scholarship and 1 year Chinese language program. Then after that you're gonna have the HSK test. If you could clear the HSK test, then you will be able to pursue your master's degree if your major is in Chinese. So while applying, you better check whether your major is taught in Chinese or English. If it is Chinese, some of the universities they apply, like they ask you to apply for 1 year Chinese language. Like this is also like covered by the scholarship. Of course, some, like not all the majors are taught in Chinese. There are like many majors which are taught in English. Kindly let us know about. Okay, we have another question. Kindly let us know about maximum age for PhD. I heard age should not be more than 35 for PhD. Yeah, as I mentioned earlier, that the age requirement for masters it is 35. For PhD it is 40. So the maximum age for like while applying for PhD degree is 40 years, and for masters it is 35 years. What is the importance of CGPA to get scholarship, especially to get CSC? This is something academic, and CGPA as the result of your academic performance in your bachelor's degree, because that is the main proof that how have you been performing in your bachelor's degree. So there are some universities, they're really strict about that. They do check about your CGPA, and that is must. It has not been mentioned on the scholarship requirement, but that is required by some universities that they consider your GPA. Okay, we have another question, that how should an undergraduate student prepare research proposal as they won't have much research experience or just have thesis project? Kindly guide. Okay, as I mentioned earlier, that for research proposal is required those who are applying for PhD. Those who are applying for masters, they are supposed to write study plan. Study plan and research proposal is different. In study plan, you mentioned that in the first paragraph you give a detailed information of yourself, that who are you, what have where have you been studying, and what are your achievements, and what have you been studying. And in the second paragraph, that the major you are applying, for example, you are applying for applied economics, and then you mentioned here that why would you be applying for applied economics. And then as well as you are supposed to mention that why are you applying for this scholarship for this university, or why, and as well as you are supposed to mention that why are you applying in China, not any other country. So this study plan is not more about research, but is more about like plan, that why do you plan to study that major in that school or in that country. It is not like a research proposal. For those who are applying for PhD, they are supposed to have the research proposal mentioning about their research. Okay, one of our friends is saying that without consultant, it has been hard for me to find China scholarship. Well, I don't mean that all the consultants, you should not get any service from the consultant. We voluntarily share the information with you that how can you apply for the scholarship yourself. Like, we are giving you the complete information. Me as a student, I don't want any of my student fellow to pay a lot of money just to get some information, or just to get the application procedure done. There are volunteers, there are people who are helping you, giving you information, there are sources. Now we are living in 21st century, especially 2019. If all the sources, all the procedures are clearly mentioned on the websites and available on the internet freely, then I suggest you better not to get any service by paying, so you can get done all those things freely. Okay, we have one other fellow asking, I'm applying for masters, I'm confused about what to upload, research proposal or study plan. Which would be more effective? Well, I suggest you that if you're applying for masters, study plan and research proposal, I suggest you to merge them. In the first two or three paragraphs, you mentioned that why are you applying for this scholarship, for this school, for this major, and in the last paragraph you are supposed to mention about your research plan that you are having in your idea, or you want to pursue your research in that field. So you can merge both of them. For Shanghai Jiao Tong University, IELTS is required. For some major, it is 6.5 should be the minimum. Of course, you are supposed to do your IELTS first, then you can apply for Shanghai Jiao Tong University. Abid Hussein, I'm not sure like which major are you applying, so because it also matters. Uh, like different majors belong to different departments or colleges, and every colleges like they have their own requirement, their own procedure. So I'm not sure like which major are you applying for. All right, Fatima Malik is asking, can a student in the last semester of bachelor's apply for master's? Can I submit my ALS result later? Okay, like I already mentioned uh, before that if you're like if you're not done with your bachelor's yet, if you're in your last year or even your last semester and you want to apply for master's degree, of course you can apply. You should get your transcript, academic transcript from your college or school, and then besides that there is one document called pre-graduation certificate. In there it is mentioned that uh, let's say Fatima is like doing well and she will be graduated like after a few months. So and then they put the stamp, and that can work as a like your highest education diploma or degree. So that can work, like that is called pre-graduation certificate. And then the okay, can I submit my IELTS result later? I'm afraid not, because it depends. If that university is like really asking you for IELTS, I suggest you to do your IELTS first and then apply. But if you think you don't have enough time, you should get one English proficiency letter from your school that mentions that that Fatima has done his bachelor's in an English taught program. The course says she has learned all have been taught in English, and then they put the stamp, and that can help you with the English proficiency. For IT major, Abid Hussein, I suggest you can consult with the university whether they can accept that or not. Which province university do you suggest for economic and finance? Okay, one friend of us asking about which province and university do you suggest for economics and finance. Well, it depends. There are some universities in Beijing as well, and as well as in Shanghai as well, and as well as in the city I'm living, and we have Zhejiang as well. But you're not sure that in which university you can get this scholarship. So I suggest like you have like as many options as possible, then you can get one of those chances to get admitted by any of those universities. Acceptance letter is necessary in all university, and what minimum CGPA requirement? Amar Sheikh, please watch the video from the beginning. I have mentioned already. Abid Hussein, if you think you cannot get your IELTS done before the end of March, then I suggest you that you can have a try with the English proficiency letter, of course. Normally, Shanghai Jiao Tong University, they will conduct an online interview on Skype. So you can mention that in your online interview. They will do the evaluation based on your documents, and as well as while having the online interview on Skype. Okay, since we have enough time, then I can go with Amar Sheikh's question that acceptance letter is necessary in all university. It depends. It depends. You better check the university requirement. As I told you, like not all the universities have same requirement. For some universities, it is a must that you should have an acceptance letter. For some universities, it is not a must. And CGPA, as I mentioned earlier, that if you're applying for masters in China, like we have the CGPA in here is 5, like out of 5, and they normally prefer the one like who is having GPA above 3, and but in Pakistan I think we have like CGPA 4. I suggest you guys do some, like, I'm not sure, like you can check the how much is going to be the equivalent, then you can compare whether you can do it or not. Well, Abid Hussein, that 800 yuan, yeah, now like every university like required the application fee, that 800 RMB, yeah, that you can use as a like a risk cost. Yeah, if you want to apply, you can have a try. If your other documents, like, I'm not sure, like you said you're applying for masters, right? And if you think like you're gonna have like a big chance to get admitted there, so you better apply. But if you think you cannot get that, so I suggest you apply in some other universities which are having their application fee about 400 RMB and 800 RMB for Shanghai Jiao Tong. Yeah. So I suggest better you apply. You better have a try. So now we are having our question and answer session. Those who are still having some confusions, they can ask question. Okay, we will wait another few minutes for questions. If it's coming, then fine. I'm very confused about, is there any web link? Sure. Like I have already given you the, okay, for Shanghai Jiao Tong, of course, they have, I think the link is sjtu.edu.cn. You can try this one, or you can type in Google Shanghai Jiao Tong University. Once you are in the main website, then yours is IT. I think it is like connected to the computer science college of computer science, and every college or department, they have their own website, so they can like link you directly to that website, and then you can go and get the information. Well, for self-finance, as I have done my bachelor's on self-finance, then later I got some partial scholarship, appraisal partial scholarship based on my performance. Let's say about 50,000 RMB, which is like about 10 lakh rupees. Yeah, it's about 10 lakh rupees per year. And if it's 4 year, then you multiply 10 by 4, it's about 40 to 50 lakh rupees. Okay, please, can you suggest me university in China with 3 CGPA for MS in computer engineering department? Yeah, that is per year. Wardah Batul, could you please make your question clear? I didn't get your question, I'm sorry. Could you make it clear, please? Okay, then if it's not mentioned about IELTS or GRE, then you should apply. But I suggest you attach your English proficiency letter with you, like with your documents, I mean. Because for some courses, let's say for MBA courses, they do require GRE or IELTS, something like that. But for the program you're applying for, if they are not asking that, so I suggest you can apply with the English proficiency letter. Sorry, I don't have complete information about all the universities of China. There are about 289 universities listed in CSC, and there are like hundreds of thousands of universities in every city, province, and all over China. So I'm not like sure about that university you're asking. Okay, what do you mean that you have acceptance letter from Xiamen University? Xiamen is a good city. I suggest you should go for that. Well, as I told you guys in the beginning, that you can have more and more options. Like now, like CSC has ruled that you can apply maximum in three like universities. So I suggest you guys that you should have three options, and then as well as for provincial scholarship and for school scholarship, you can have some more options. How can I contact you later if I need any help about China scholarship? Well, I can suggest you that you leave message in our page, like scholarships corner page. You can contact me through the message there, then we can get connected privately, I think. Could you suggest a university for LLM in international law in China? Tahir Muhammad, well, I'm sorry, I don't have that information like for every program. There is a link I have sent like earlier. You can check on the link, and then you can find out your desired majors and which universities are providing your desired majors or field of studies. Abid Hussain is asking, we can also apply without acceptance letter. Sorry, I forgot, were you applying for MS or for PhD? Our new viewers, currently we are having the question and answer session for higher education scholarship opportunities in China. So if you have any confusion or question, please you can ask me now. Okay, for MS, if you are applying for MS, well, for Shanghai Jiaotong, for up to my knowledge, for economics major or for business major, they did not require any acceptance letter. But for your major, I'm not sure. You can check in the list of requirements on their website. If it is not mentioned, then it is not required. But it is a plus point for you that you better have. But in the application, in their online application, they will ask you that have you contacted any professor or not. So you better contact some professors or get the acceptance letter or something like that. They don't ask you to upload your acceptance letter in the application procedure, but they ask you whether you have any contact, have you contacted with any of the professor of your major or of that college. And I suggest you guys don't contact the universities now, because in China nowadays it is New Year holidays, and after 2 weeks the universities are going to reopen. So I suggest you guys start contacting the universities after 2 weeks, not now, because nowadays they are having holidays. Okay, if you are applying through CSC, maximum 3 universities. Shakil Irshad is asking whether IELTS or acceptance is compulsory for PhD. Well, it depends on the university requirement. You better find the university website and the department you're applying in. Every university have like different requirements, but the general requirements I have already mentioned. Once I stop my live session, you can watch the video again to know more about it, about the general requirements for MS or PhD. Okay, we'll be having few more minutes to have our question and answer session. So those of you out there having questions regarding application procedures about the higher education scholarship opportunities in China, so I'm here to answer all your questions. Okay, even now I'm receiving some questions in message. Please, you can ask your question directly in comment, so I can see and I can comment. Okay, fellow of us, Wardah Batul is asking that I want to do my MS in China, but I have done BS in computer engineering with CGPA of 3. Please, can you suggest me university from which I can do MS? Sure, there are like many options for you. As I'm mentioning that again and again, that you go on the university, like on the university website, and check it yourself. There are many options for you. Abid Hussain is asking, can you share your WeChat contact with me, sir? Well, we will be contact in message. You can send me a message like in our page. I have done bachelor's in computer science. Can you suggest me university for MS? Ajit Kumar is asking, I have done bachelor's in computer science. Can you suggest me university for MS? Well, I'm mentioning again and again that I can give you the website of China Scholarship Council, in which all the information are mentioned there. Then in there you can find your desired major, like which of the universities are providing the program of your desired major or desired field of studies. You can find in there. Currently we don't have any like sort of database or something like that we can ask people which university is good. So I suggest the more options you have, the better it is. Dr. Hayat Nasir Shahwani, is there any test or any criteria for PhD? Well, some of the high-ranking universities, they might have some sort of test, but most of them are like evaluating students by interview and as well as by your publications. If you have enough publications, good publications, then you're going to be evaluated by that. But about the test, not all the universities, but some of the high-ranking universities, they might have some sort of like INTI test or something like that. Only the high-ranking universities, not the normal ones. The normal ones, they may evaluate you based on your publications, and as well as while interviewing you. Ajit Kumar is asking, can you send me that link? I have already sent the link in the comments. Please have a look, or let me send it again. This is the website. You can get the complete information, the detailed information about the scholarships being provided by Chinese government or by provincial government or by universities, and then as well as the information about the universities, university website and everything. You can get the information there on this website. Okay, everyone, I'll be waiting 4 more minutes. If you have any question, please ask me now. After 4 minutes, I will be ending the live session. And please keep sharing the videos to your friends or to your fellows who would like to come to China for studies. I hope all the information I have shared tonight would be helpful for all of you out there. But still, if you have any confusion or any question, you can ask through our through our page, Scholarships Corner. So we have 3 more minutes. I'll be ending the live session of today. Abid Hussain is asking, can I submit my IELTS result before my apply in Shanghai Jiao Tong universities? Abid, I didn't get your question. Could you please make it clear? What are you asking about? Tariq Khan is asking what GPA requirement for MS in engineer. I suggest you to watch the video from the beginning once again, and I have already mentioned in there. And many questions regarding that have been asked by our fellows, and I have already answered. Abid Hussain, I'm waiting for your question. Once you make it clear, and after answering, I'll be ending this live session. Well, during your application procedure, uh, like you are supposed to submit the every document required. So I suggest you to submit all the documents while you're applying, and then later they might interview you. It depends on the department and college. Some of the colleges and departments, they have interview session that they are going to interview you after receiving your application. So I suggest you that you better submit your all documents at a time, not like one by one, or you might be thinking that you can submit any of your document later, but no, that will reduce your chance of getting a scholarship. So I suggest you to submit all of them together. If you are not having IELTS, so go with the English proficiency later. For MS scholarship application, it is normally at the end of March, 31st March. For some universities, it is mid of March. For some universities, it even goes until the mid-April or at the end of April. Okay guys, I'll be waiting few more minutes if you're having any question regarding higher education scholarship opportunities in China. So I'll be happily answering your question or any confusion you're having. In a few minutes I will be ending this live session. Later I'll be sharing the video on our page, Scholarships Corner. Then you can watch again from the beginning, and many of your questions being asked here, they are kind of similar, and I hope you will get all your answer there while watching from the beginning until the end of the video. Okay guys, since nobody has question, I'm gonna end the video now. Thank you so much once again for your time, those who are watching and those who are sharing the video. Keep sharing the video. Maybe this information, all this information I shared tonight would be helpful for some of our fellows out there, and wish you all have a good night.